This is Stu Ellis reporting on behalf of the Illinois Soybean Association Checkoff Program. Have you planted your 2023 soybeans yet? If not, when is too early? Well, that's the question for Jason Carr, technical researcher for Bayer and an Illinois soy envoy.
I did try to plant them in November a couple of years ago,
I
and
remember that.
you may have heard, but it didn't turn out well.
Okay, so November's a little too early.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, when is too early to plant soybeans?
Well, I'm not sure. We planted in March over the last 3 years and been very successful with that. So I wouldn't recommend necessarily that farmers go out and plant soybeans in March, but doing that has given me a lot of confidence to say, hey, when the calendar turns to April, if the weather well, the weather isn't really that relevant. If the soil conditions are great and you can plant into it, go ahead and plant some beans in early April. We've seen them withstand frost, we've seen them withstand all kinds of things, but really the key is if you have a good quality seed treatment on there, they're going to sit in the ground and they're going to come out when the time is right. And you're already ahead of your planting, and we haven't really seen a drag from doing that.
Mother Nature tells the bean when it can say good morning world, and so it's going to do that if it's there.
Exactly. And if you have a good quality seed treatment, like I mentioned on that seed, it's going to protect it until that time. We've even, in these March plantings, things will sit in the ground for 50 days, and which is almost unheard of. I mean, an untreated seed sitting in the ground for 50 days, not too many of them are going to last. But if you've got a good quality seed treatment on there, they're going to last, and you're not, if you're talking early April, you're going to ask it to sit there for maybe 2 weeks. And most of them are going to be totally fine with that until the conditions are right.
Okay. And at that point, you don't have to worry about whether you can't be in the field because it's too wet. It's already going to be germinating, and it'll come out when it wants to.
Exactly. Yeah, and like like you mentioned, and like I mentioned, I've been planting in March for the last several years, and it's given me a lot of confidence that really there's not a lot of risk there for farmers to go ahead and put it in the ground, not worry about it so much, and then wait until the conditions are right and good for planting their corn. So get the beans in when you can, once the calendar turns to April, and then plant corn when the conditions are good, because we know that corn is a lot more dependent on the ideal planting conditions.
That's your soybean update. I'm Stu Ellis. To learn more about the Illinois Soybean Association and the checkoff that pays off, go to ILSoyAdvisor.org.